Steve Grimmett, well known from Grim Reaper, Onslaught and Lionheart, and now Steve Grimmett Band. How are you doing these days, Steve?
Yeah, we're doing pretty good, actually, yeah. The reason that we've put Steve Grimmett Band together is basically so it's a brand new project, and I can then get to play all my old stuff as well, and obviously all the new stuff. So, yes, we're doing pretty good. We've got a new album coming out, and it's always easy for a musician to say it's the best thing I've ever done, because you have to believe in your product. But, at the end of the day, this product is the best thing I've ever done. It's the best sounding, it's really good quality songs, the whole thing's really good. I'm very pleased with it.
The album cover actually says Steve Grimmett, not Steve Grimmett Band. So
yes, it does say that. Yeah, it's basically. It is the Steve Grimmett Band. It's not a solo project. That's just something that we decided to do on the sleeve, basically. But it is the Steve Grimmett Band. Everybody's involved. The other three guys are involved in everything that we do. It's not just, and they're not hired musicians. We are a band.
You released some excellent albums with Lionheart as well. What happened to that band?
Well, unfortunately, with Lionheart, I went through so many lineup changes that it was untrue, really, and I thought it was a bit unfair to carry on with Lionheart because it would be, it's another, lineup change and everything. I just wanted a totally clean start. So that's why we did the Steve Grimmett thing. So
what can your old fans expect from you on this album? I've heard it several times and it's great. Is this a very different direction from what they would know from before with Lionheart?
Yeah, probably. I think actually it's been said to me several times that it's a kind of a mixture of Grim Reaper and Lionheart. That it's sort of old school heavy metal, I suppose, but it's got a modern sound to it. And I guess, really, if I think about it, that's probably a very apt description.
Who's in the band right now? I know you brought your guitar player from Lionheart, is that right?
Yes, I did, yeah. Ian Nash is still my guitarist, yeah. We've been together, well, we're really good friends anyway. We've done a lot of stuff together. We even do martial arts together and have done for several years, or many years. So Ian came with me. And then I've been joined by Pete Nudek, the drummer. He's played for Paul Di'Anno and Killers. So he's quite well versed in touring and everything. And we got Richie Walker, who hasn't really done too much, but he worked with Ian many, many years ago. And Ian wanted to bring him on board as the new bass player. So and they're thoroughly nice guys, I have to say, that because for the first time in many, many years, I'm actually enjoying my music again. And it's down to those three guys, because we're whilst we're being serious, we're also having a really good laugh, and that's something I haven't had for a long time.
So you're doing great with the band, but still the album is called Personal Crisis.
Yeah.
How come?
It's for several reasons, really, because when we all got together, we were all going through some personal crisis of one way or another, and somebody suggested it, and it was like, yeah, that's a great title, and it actually we came up with lots of ideas for the album sleeve and photographs and stuff, but we never used them in the end because the guy that we used for the album sleeve came up with so many better things that we used what he came up with, So all those photographs and stuff that we wanted to do will get done at some point because some of it's really funny as well, So, it's just basically a suggestion that because we'd all been through some personal crisis on the early parts of the band getting together, really.
So now you're on a new label. Dennis Ward, he did the vocal production on this one, and he's been much used lately. Did you know him from before, or this?
I didn't actually. It was only Pete that sort of met Dennis. He worked on the Eden's Curse project and met Dennis and thought that he would be a really good thing for us. And I went over there to Germany to do my vocals, and I really enjoyed that too. He made it a pleasure to be able to work I mean, because basically I did all the vocals in 4 days. It was that easy, and it was, he was a good influence on me to get the best out of me. So that was good. And obviously I'd heard his mixes, and I really couldn't wait to hear what our stuff would sound like with Dennis on the mixing desk. And I think he's done a phenomenal job. I really like it.
All your old fans will, of course, recognize the Wrath of the Reaper track.
Yes, yeah.
Which is an old Grim Reaper song.
Yes.
Why did you put that on the album?
Well, basically, the reason that this album is in existence, because I was almost ready to give up singing and stuff, because I'd had a really rough ride with it all. Got fed up with it, and then we got asked to play the Keep It True Festival as a Steve Grimmett's Grim Reaper. So we decided to go because it sounded like a good idea, and I was so blown away with the fact that the fans are still out there, that when we came back, it was like, we've got to put an album together, we've got to do this. And we were still coming up with songs, and Ian came up with the idea. He said, look, that's one of my favourite tracks. Can we put it on the album? So I had a quick think about it, and it was like, well, yeah, why not, So that's the reason it's on there, just because we liked it. And it was one of the songs that we played in the Steve Grimmett's Grim Reaper set.
Does that mean you will perform more of the old stuff now than you did with Lionheart?
Yeah.
Live?
Yeah, we do. We've got quite a mixture, because we're actually in rehearsals now. We've got quite a mixture of Grim Reaper, Lionheart, and obviously the new stuff. So it's quite a varied set list, and it would be quite interesting for people, I would imagine, because I don't think. Well, I've played a couple of times maybe in Europe with Lionheart, but never really any big shows or anything. So there's a lot of people wouldn't have seen or heard us play any of the Lionheart live, so that hopefully that'll be exciting for people. Obviously mixed in with our favourite Grim Reaper stuff and our favourite tunes on the new album.
There is some female vocals on the track called Enemy.
Yes.
Who's that singing with you, and how did that happen?
It's Joe's been a friend of ours for quite some time. I've known Joe for probably about 10 years, and Pete even longer. Because Pete was doing the production, we gave him the helm to do the production. He said, you know what, this is, we wrote the song, Pete and I wrote the song about a couple, man and wife, let's say. She was on drugs and he wasn't, and, basically she was destroying their relationship and their lives. And he said, no, this would be really cool if we got somebody in to do the female part. So we tried it, and she did a really good job. Her job actually is a voiceovers for cartoons, and but she can sing. So we decided that it'd be a good idea to get her in, and she could hit those sort of ranges that we were looking for. So no, it's quite good. It's a good mixture. So and a good idea. I thought it sort of brought the song. Gave the song a bit more.
There are so many bands reuniting these days. Did you ever try to gather the original Grim Reaper lineup at one point?
Well, unfortunately, we've all got jobs now, and Nick has got an extremely important job with Marshall in the States. It's pretty impossible for us to do that. We've spoken about it several times, but we thought, this is better to leave Sleeping Dogs lie. We're both okay about me going out doing Reaper songs, and I don't think it'll ever happen, to be perfectly honest with you. And I'm quite happy to leave Sleeping Dogs lie, really. I've moved on. I've got different band members, which I like, and I like being with, I like playing with. So I not that I don't like Nick, but I just don't think that it will ever happen.
I know that Fear No Evil and See You in Hell, they have been re-released, but I'm still looking for Rock You to Hell. Has that ever been re-released and released on CD?
It's still for sale, I think. I know it's still for sale in the States, for sure, because I've actually bought it, because I lost my copy, so it is for sale out there. And there's also another one called Grim Reapers, I can't remember if it's or I can't remember if it's called Greatest Hits or something like that.
I got that one.
Yeah. So I'm still truly amazed that they are still for sale in the States. We have still got our own section in most of these. Like I said, my wife's American, and we go out there on a regular basis to see her parents and that, and visit all her family and friends. And the very first time I went over there with her, we went into a few stores in Minnesota, and they're all still for sale. We've still got our own section, and they're all for sale. They've never gone on back catalogue, so I'm truly amazed about that. So they are still available.
Good. And they're great albums. So
thank you.
I actually checked YouTube a couple of days ago, and there's some great live footage from '87. Are you familiar with that?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that something that ever was released, or?
No, I think if '87, that would probably be the MTV show that we did. We were on tour at the time with our Hell on Wheels tour, where we had Armored Saint and Halloween with us, and MTV did a Halloween special, and they came along to the shows and recorded all three bands at the First Avenue in Minnesota, or in Minneapolis, I should say. And that's, I think, is one of the ones, or that would probably be the best live-looking one, because it was a professional job. But I know there's others out there that have been sort of like handy-cam stuff and that sort of thing. So, yes, that was on the '87 tour and an MTV special.
I guess Steve Grimmett Band is your main focus right now. I guess your fans have seen the Garmin commercial and heard you on the tribute albums. Do you have any other side projects right now, or is it only Steve Grimmett Band?
No, it's only the Steve Grimmett Band.
Mm-hmm.
I need to concentrate on that. I do some recording at home for different bands, and my son has got a band, and they've just started gigging, and I'm just putting an album together for them. But that's just basically a production thing. It's not it's not a Steve Grimmett project. So no, we've got nothing else on at the moment. I'm just concentrating on that because we obviously need to get things together. So that's what we're at the moment.
How far do you think it's possible to take Steve Grimmett's band? I mean, you did very well with Grim Reaper, and right now there's so many bands and so many albums being released all the time. Do you think about that? How far you can take this?
No, not really. We are getting a truly amazing response with it. So, and that sort of always spurs you on to do bigger things. We're getting some really good reactions worldwide. We have a release a week before it comes out in Europe, in Japan, and they're really going apeshit over it. They think it's really good. So I don't know. We just have to see what sales responses we get as to how we take it. How we take the next step, really. It's because obviously I haven't done an album for a long time, so and things have changed dramatically out there. So I'm not really sure. I'm sort of hanging back to see what happens with it.